I am on ground zero right now. This is boots on the ground.
We have shit for f***ing poor people. Who buys our shit?
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good Thanksgiving evening out there. If you guys get to watch the video, I appreciate you guys taking some time out of, I'm sure, your busy day, to watch a little conspiracy talk, right? We're going to get into it, y'all. We got some 12,000-year-old volcanoes erupting. Campbell's executives saying this food is for poor people. What else do we got? We got so much more, y'all. Terrorist attacks in D.C. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's have some fun today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Isn't it weird that a certain group of people was expelled from Spain one day before Christopher Columbus left on his voyage? Isn't it weird that that same group of people own the slave ships? Isn't it weird that that same group of people owns McGraw-Hill and wrote all of our textbooks? Isn't it weird that to become an American citizen, you have to answer certain questions about the genocide of that specific group of people? Isn't it a little weird that as soon as Charlie Kirk started questioning that group of people, he was killed? Isn't it weird that the same group of people that Charlie Kirk started questioning are now paying American influencers to post good things about them? Isn't it weird that these same people fund 90% of American politicians? I also think it's a little weird that these people own Pornhub and OnlyFans, and banks, and Hollywood, and news networks, and social media. Isn't it weird that these people are our greatest allies, yet they lie about what they do with the taxpayer money that we give them? It's a little weird.
The Grand Canyon in his eyeball. Yeah, we all know the little spider. I guess it's an owl, though. I always known it as a spider back in the day when I was a young buck. That's weird. That's crazy.
When you have a baby and you end up going clothes shopping, you start to realize how deep the programming is.
It really is, y'all.
Everything is either Disney, space, or dinosaurs.
Everything, y'all. Everything I buy for my boy. Dinosaurs, space, aliens. There is a lot of Disney. But like all the clothes for boys, space, aliens, dinosaurs, like they start them young, yo. They start them young.
Epstein Files Part 2. This shit gets crazy, so sit back, relax, get your snacks. So in Part 1, I mentioned Obama and his staff was mentioned in the files, but get this. Epstein had an email back in 2013 where he was in support of a new rising star named Hakeem Jeffries, in which they call him Brooklyn Obama, but I like to call him Dollar Tree Obama. So compromise, I say yes, let's keep moving. Also in Part 1, I mentioned Obama's staff member was talking to Epstein about a cook who can wait, in which could have been Obama chef who died, but could it be this chef who was actually the chef for the Clintons who died a year later from that email? Either way, it seems like being a White House chef is a hazardous job. But it gets even wilder. It turns out that Jeffrey Epstein was in contact in real time with this representative of the Virgin Islands, Stacey Plaskett.
Driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that...
Now, obviously, Trump knew Epstein and all the nefarious shit he was doing, but here's the thing. If Epstein had all this dirt on Trump, why did he need an inside man to influence during an impeachment? But here's the part where it really gets spooky.
Matters first, I wanted to introduce into the record Page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlow.
Now that video was from 2019 at a congressional hearing in which this woman was mouthing the same words at the same time as Pulaski under some mind control shit. And I even had to fact check this myself saying, is this AI generated or altered? And AI said, it is not AI generated or deepfake at all. What the hell is going on? Now, if you guys remember in part 1, he was heavily invested into bioengineering and eugenics, but maybe, just maybe, he was also into MK Ultra as well. And if you guys were wondering who that was, her name is Christina Kelsey, in which he has a lot of ties to the DOJ, so there's that. Then there's this weird ass video in the files from 2018.
Charlie, ma chi è quello lì? Ma ti piace? Facciamo un pazzotto.
So you mean to tell me there's a dog named Charlie chewing on a Trump toy with Hillary Clinton next to him? I'll let you guys know
weird
that
stuff.
One. Then Trump himself says he wants the Epstein files to be released. First he said it was a hoax. Now he says he wants it to be released. So I guess we'll see. Now there's a lot more than that, but make sure you guys go to my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, because I'm going to do a deeper breakdown on this, but let me know what you guys think below.
What do you guys think? I think they're all filthy, dirty people, y'all. You don't get to that level of running a country, of calling the shots, right? Think about it. They're calling what we're told. They're calling the shots. They run it. They're not going to be able to not have no control over them. They got to have something. And everyone's might be different. You know, this guy's might be little kids. This guy might be another man. This girl might be whatever, a sacrifice, whatever. They're all different. Everyone's is different, right? But to get to that level, we all know, right? We all know Hollywood, White House, politics. You got to have some dirt on you.
Pay attention to this clip. This is good, Todd.
Yeah, screw that.
Now, before y'all go in the comments, did y'all see the demon look at the video? Now, the girl had to double back and look back herself like, did I see what I just see? Yes, she did. So she happened to look back like, did anybody else notice the man in the video? Now, y'all, look now. That looks like some Chucky, Jeepers Creepers, I know what you did last summer video. Yo, I think I would have picked up all my stuff and I would have just stopped recording, stopped streaming, and I would have been going. Nah, she looked like she was somewhere eating inside of like the mall area or something like that, like she was eating. My food would have been ruined. My whole day would have just been, what? I need a part 2. We need a part 2 because who was the man? Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all let me know in the comments. I'll call y'all back.
They're building bunkers to survive this event. I believe wholeheartedly, yes. And I think, you know, we got to look at the evidence of, you know, is there evidence currently that billionaires are building bunkers? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
If they could get out, you know, out of here some other way, they wouldn't need to build the bunkers. So they're building bunkers to survive this event. I believe wholeheartedly, yes. And if we look, you know, I think that comparative mythology and oral history, and especially of the natives and indigenous tribes, are the best thing we can look at. You know, if we look at the Dogon from Africa, all of their symbols encode this event, right? And if we look at the Hopi from the Southwest United States, you know, I'm in Arizona. That's just kind of their area, you know, the Four Corners. And they talked about this event where strange clouds during the day, moving stars at night, and wingless shields. To me, that sounds like sentient plasma or some kind of cloaked ships that we maybe don't even understand, right? The tales are that the Hopi that were pure of heart got led underground by these ant people, and they were, you know, helped them survive this fiery cataclysm on the earth. And then, you know, their whole emergent story is that they came from underground. So it all seems to fit, with what's going on with the elite bunkers and what the Hopi told us about the past.
The gracious.
You know what's crazy is, like, back in that time, everybody was in tuned, right? Like everybody was everybody was in tune with the sky, like all these stories happening and all that. But us, like we're seeing these things in the sky, and the powers that be are just telling us they're just drones, right? A month later, planes are falling out of the sky like flies, literally like flies falling out. Remember that beginning of the year? Planes every day. Every day there was a plane crash after these drones. And what happened? Nobody batted an eye. People were still flying. You know, it made the news, breaking news, another plane crash, breaking news, another plane crash. And they just tell us, you know, technical difficulties, a faulty, you know, landing strip, whatever. And so maybe these things are happening as we speak, and we're just being told they're just dumbing us down, dumbing us down.
Do you guys think you'll be able to like handle being a 911 operator?
Fuck no.
Yeah, I think I could.
You don't fold under pressure like that?
I think I'm confident
I
enough to
couldn't be a
like do that.
911
Have you guys ever
operator.
heard about the Ruth Price 911 call? No. It might make you guys feel uncomfortable.
This is Ruth Price of 3877. What's the problem, ma'am? Oh, well, there's some guy been checking the place out. Oh. Well, he went in the back. I have an apartment in the back, and he said he was looking for a guy. And he comes to my door, and yes, and said he's looking for an apartment. So I live alone, and I'm an old lady. Mm-hmm. Where is he now, ma'am? I don't have no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Sounds like she's being tortured. For a long time, like nobody really knew if that call was real or fake. A lot of people were like, this lady was and murdered. And then there was a lot of retired 911 operators saying that back in the day, they used to listen to that audio as like the
example.
What to do whenever like something like this happens or whatever.
Scenarios, yeah.
And it turned out, yeah.
Do you guys remember prank calls? Do they still do that? Do kids still prank call? Like me and my sisters, we used to have a phone, y'all. We used to have a phone that changed your voice. That's how deep we were into prank calling. We had the cops called on us. Cops came to my mom's house. Like, we used to get down with the prank calls back in the 90s, y'all. Do kids still do that?
Are you asking for a boyfriend for Christmas? No?
When she was visiting Santa, he asked her, did she ask for a boyfriend?
Yeah, that's weird.
For Christmas. And then she said no, and he said, why not? And I just feel like that's inappropriate.
I'm so sorry, I did not know any of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I recorded that shit just because I'm like, wait a minute. And then I started recording his ass because at this point, why did you ask her, did she want a boyfriend for? Yeah, but you can't joke like that. She's only 8 years old. You could have, she felt really uncomfortable. So I think for future references, you shouldn't be asking kids stuff like that. That's very unacceptable. Yeah, please don't do that to other kids because now she's traumatized, wondering why Santa asked her about a boyfriend. She knows nothing about a boyfriend.
You know what the problem with that is, y'all? She filmed the whole conversation. Her daughter's so-called traumatized. She let this whole conversation go on just so she can film it. Like right off the bat, I've been like, hey, like cut that out. Like, what's with the questions, bro? We just want to take a picture. What are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like, cut it. Be the grown instead of filming it so you can put it on TikTok later. Like, that's parenting 2025, y'all. Like, your daughter's so-called traumatized because you didn't step in and put an end to that conversation. That's why your daughter's traumatized. And now you're making a big old scene about it. Like, you should have deaded it right there and then went and talked to them and then been on your way, right? Because obviously you didn't do nothing about it. You just got an apology and was like, everything's okay, right? So there was nothing you can do about it. So you should have deaded it. But she let it go on so she could film it, put it on TikTok, and go viral.
For poor people. Who buys our shit? I don't buy every products barely anymore. So healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer? You?
Morning. Can you believe that we woke up to an employee who has been fired from Campbell's because he recorded the vice president of Campbell's Soup
Oh, they fired
stating
him.
that he doesn't eat Campbell's Soup. He said only the poor people eat Campbell's Soup. He said ain't no way he putting that shit in his mouth because they bioengineer meat. He said he's not eating no 3D printed meat.
And what is the coincidence of the next video that pops up on my FYP is this lady who was sorting through her pantry and going through her canned food and getting food ready for the holidays, and she comes across this, y'all. Check this out.
Starting to move things around, and I noticed this, and I was like, what the heck is that? And I kept searching.
It gets worse.
Look at this. One of my cans did this little number. Like, what the hell is that?
What is that?
And it's supposed to have like another year. So that's concerning.
It's
The other thing, I was like, what the hell is going on here? It sprung a leak from the side of the can.
What is that?
What the heck? Oh my gosh, there's another one. It's stuck to the wall.
Wow.
What the hell would cause that?
This whole time, we've never really been eating food. I hope you guys know that, man. Like, you guys have no idea what you're eating. And it's always been like that since the very beginning. You really think they really cared about us from the very beginning when it came to food? You really believe that? Yes, I'm not denying that the food has gotten a lot worse, but just look at people back in the day as well, too, man. Like, people were still in the same stages that they are now. But yeah, what is that, y'all? What the heck is this? The shift is here, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, share for more videos like this. Let's continue.
Like the wealthy don't eat this food, y'all. I mean, some do, but like I was watching, a clip about McDonald's on that PBD podcast, and I overheard him say, "I haven't had Pat Beck David. I haven't had McDonald's in I don't know. I'm just since the '90s, 30 years. I haven't had a McDonald's 30 years." And they were all shocked, like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "You don't take your kids to get a Happy Meal?" He's like, "You kidding me? I don't feed my kids that garbage. Like, I don't. Why would I give them that?" Like that they're where they're at, y'all, for a reason, right? They don't put this junk because I'm telling you, this junk, this food, I know because I do it and I eat clean and I feel the difference, y'all. Like it's like when you go on keto or carnivore, you're kind of always stuck there. Like once you do it, you're kind of, at least for me, like I'm always going back no matter what because I know even eating clean carbs, I just don't feel good, right? But like the powerful elite, y'all, they don't eat the food that they feed us, that they invest in. They don't feed us that food. They don't feed their kids that food. Just like Apple, the dude from Apple, he don't give his kids, iPads to play with, or, you hear that all the time. All these people that push these products on us, but they don't let their kids, use it or consume it.
Peace and
music,
what
all
is that a picture of? That's not Bad Bunny. That was Bad Bunny with the breast out. They're grooming our babies. We're going to pay a price for this. We're about to have a halftime show where most of the
crazy
audience
halftime
will
show.
have no idea what's going on. But I guarantee you, Bad Bunny's going to put on a drag show at halftime because that's how he got here, by redefining masculinity, by dressing up in women's clothing, by pretending, well, I'm not gay, I'm sexually fluid, I might get into men later in life. The National Football League, they don't respect fans. They don't respect Americans.
Yeah, that's who Jay-Z chose to perform at the Super Bowl this year, or next year, Bad Bunny. For all those who are saying this stuff is not demonic, I don't know what you would call it. This is Bad Bunny, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't he also take a vow not to perform in the U.S. anymore because of the ICE raids in America?
Shit, money talks.
But here he is, about to come and perform at the Super Bowl. Oh, that should be really interesting. Chose by none other than Jay-Z himself. And we know how demonic it gets when it comes to Jay-Z.
That's... And how they pushed it on us, they had us arguing, right? They had the people arguing about race. That's what they had us arguing. You don't speak Spanish, so you're racist. That's why you don't want them on here. That's what even the social media influencers, the TV, that's what they had. That was the debate on this. They didn't show no clips of him with breasts, with dresses on, with makeup and a full gown. They didn't show none of that. They just made it seem like it's just race. That's why people don't nah. I don't give a damn what language he's speaking on there, honestly, right? Because I ain't here for the halftime show, right? That's the women are there honestly for the halftime show, right? To be honest, we're there for the game. So I didn't care about the language. My thing was this is what this dude, this is what he represents, and that's what you're putting on the biggest stage, the biggest concert of the year is the Super Bowl halftime show. It's gonna be interesting to see. We'll be here, y'all. February, we'll be here.
I am on ground zero right now. This is boots on the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. I've been talking a lot.
They are locking things up at the Dollar Tree.
Tough times, tough times.
Not only that, but there's holes. Someone asked to open the cage, and they said, reach through the holes.
Like, why even
so
have
it
them?
leaves you wondering what this is for.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. The ocean is scary, but lakes suit skin intact. So much so that the coroner thought he was recently deceased. And Winbecker is not the only one. Keith Cormican has raised 32 bodies since 2021 from Lake Tahoe, with more bodies still pending. One theory for Winbecker's disappearance is something called nitrogen narcosis, aka the rapture of the deep. It's a temporary mental and physical impairment where a diver breathes compressed gas at depths. Apparently, there was a disturbing case in 2002 where a diver disappeared at 180 feet. The dive computer was recovered and showed that the diver descended rapidly to 240 feet. But after that, the readings just stopped. The body was never found, and they never figured out an explanation for the rapid descent. However, I couldn't find any verifiable sources on this, so I'm going to stamp the story as creepypasta, which is great because that is one less thing I need to be scared of. All right, that's it for me. I need to cleanse my palate with some Bob's Burgers now. And don't forget, we're capping off Spooky Science series with our Halloween YouTube episode dropping on October 30th. You don't want to miss that.
You pop that edible, yeah? I'll do it. You'll think that. Believe it on an edible.
Katy Perry was paid. Christina Aguilera was paid. These people were all paid. And Oprah wasn't paid $1 million. She was paid $2 million. Okay, let's be very clear.
$2 million.
$2 million to Harpo Productions. Who owns Harpo Productions? Flip Harpo backwards. It spells out Oprah. It's Oprah's production company. It was paid $2 million to put on that town hall in which Meryl Streep calls her Madam President. It was a love fest for Kamala Harris. So Oprah was paid $2 million. And who else? Al Sharpton was paid $500,000 moments before he interviewed her, okay? An MSNBC anchor, Al Sharpton, was paid money. A so-called journalist was paid money moments before he interviewed the vice president. People like Roland Martin who are attacking me now, he was paid $350,000 to interview advertising costs, wink wink, to interview Kamala Harris.
This video. I mean, a part of me is like, what do you want me to go over there and waste time away from my family to go in? Like, yeah, pay me. Like, I get paid to speak, right? You know, artists get paid to do features. I'm sure she's gotten paid to go do lectures at colleges or whatever. Like, that's part of the business, y'all. I'm not gonna go out of my way to do this for this dude for free. But what's annoying is these same people don't turn around and say, the Republican Party are paying this content creator this, paying this content creator this, because they're smarter, y'all. The Republican Party, they're smart. They're done with the celebrities. That don't work. Yeah, they get dumbass Kid Rock and all these like little bit jelly, like people, some people, but where they make their bread and butter, content creators. There's people now that are still getting paid from the Republican Party, content creators, and the Democratic Party. Why don't they expose everything? Why do they just expose this side? Why didn't Sean Ryan say, well, what about the Republican people? Are they paying anybody? Who's on the internet getting paid for? You know what I mean? Like, why so division? Why so one-sided? Why so much my side is an angel and their sides are demonic? They're both doing it. Like, if I was doing that interview with Sean Ryan, I would have said, hey, who are they paying on the Republican side? Oh, everyone's doing that for free? Really? They're doing it for free? When Oprah, who's a multi-billionaire, is making them pay $2 million, but this guy over here is a millionaire. They ain't paying him. He's doing it out of the That's what's annoying, y'all. That's what the problem is with this country. Until we start asking those questions, it ain't never gonna change.
Filmed in India has gone viral online. Visitors to the Virabhadra temple noticed a pillar that doesn't touch the ground. It appears to float in midair. Some people even believe it's evidence of lost ancient anti-gravity technology. But in Indian temples, the real mystery goes beyond. That it's the incredible engineering hidden within these structures. The precision of their design strongly suggests that ancient builders may have possessed laser-like stone-cutting technology. For example, the creator of this viral video claims he knows the secret knowledge of his ancestors, including how these temples were built. Just look at the breathtaking craftsmanship and complexity. What you're seeing on your screen is the Kailasanatha temple in India. Its most astonishing feature? It's the largest known structure in the world, carved entirely from a single block of stone, meaning there was no room for mistakes.
Damn.
So, how did ancient builders achieve
Crazy.
something so advanced? Did they truly have architectural and engineering technology far beyond what we possess today?
Well, yeah.
So today is the 2nd of November, and I'm back here in the Badlands National Park. Excuse me. It's 67 degrees out today, so you will have zero bitching from me. It's a little breezy today, but it'll be just fine. So, kind of just doing this for an understanding of some of the troubles that I'm having. Because that's the back side of the Sphinx head. And you see that I'm here but I want you to look at this and tell me, how freaking natural is this? Watch it. I mean, I don't know. That seems come across that, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just out here. I want to get over here because that looks a little interesting. And then these look a little interesting too. And yeah, but I just stopped to
Yeah, it looks melted.
look at this little border that runs all along down there. I'm sorry, I want to believe a lot of things, but man, I don't know. And see, that is like I can bust it, but it's not like this stuff. It's not like that at all. This is still like rock. And yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyways, out here in the Badlands, looking at all these pyramids and not complaining about the weather. And there's another view of why I can't get closer to the Sphinx head. And yes, I do know that I need a drone, but I can barely use the phone, so baby steps. Bear with me. Thank you for watching.
Germany has just announced plans to build the strongest military in Europe again. But to achieve that, young Germans could see their lives disrupted overnight. Starting next year, every 18-year-old in Germany will receive a government questionnaire asking things like, would you voluntarily join the military? Are you willing to serve? And what skills do you have? For men, responding is mandatory. For women, it's optional, at least for now. Then, the following year in 2027, things really start heating up. Every 18-year-old will face mandatory medical exams to assess whether they're fit to serve or not. That's roughly 300,000 to 400,000 people turning 18 every year. This is essentially because Germany wants to create a list of how many healthy bodies the military can call if the time comes to go to war. But why now? Well, put simply, Germany and all other NATO countries are preparing for a possible Russian attack by 2029. That is 4 years. Now, the significance of the year 2029 is a longer story, but Germany specifically wants to recruit an additional 90,000 active soldiers and another 200,000 reservists by 2035. And it's written into the bill, which was approved last week, that if they don't get those numbers by voluntary sign-ups, mandatory conscription is on the table. And in that case, university plans, careers, even personal decisions will have to be put on hold for young Germans, and perhaps others in Europe too, since France, the UK, and other Nordic countries have all hinted at conscription debates as well. But the question is, does a strong German military prevent a war through deterrence, or are we heading down a worrying path?
I can't believe this. Charlie Kirk's pastor is insinuating that Candace Owens is allegedly Charlie's, the person that did something to him. I'm about to show it to you, but remember, he's also the pastor that got caught lying about Charlie's interest in a whole bunch of things. You know, like his last few months of stances, or about the relationship that Charlie and Candace had. Glad he got called out for it.
Is a real killer. And she's a real killer because Charlie stopped inviting her places. And she thought that if she could get rid of Charlie, maybe she'd be president. And she's doing all this to divert attention.
This is what's going on at the church.
That's possible.
What are we coming to, y'all?
But I have no evidence, and I'm not suggesting that. I'm simply saying that seems to me what she's doing.
What is this world coming to? People wearing hats in church.
He literally said it, then said that he wasn't saying it, then said it made sense to him. That preacher is ruining his credibility, lying about a friend after they passed away. Regardless what you think about the whole situation, that's crazy. If you're watching this on TikTok, they're probably gonna hide it from you. They literally demonetized the only video I had that made money in this last 6 months since I've been shadow banned completely. Everything's viral everywhere but on TikTok, imagine that.
This is us. That's where we are. Just a tiny little dot in the middle of Yellowstone, 2.2 million acres. And this is what lies beneath us.
That's scary.
Oh my gosh.
How many bullets did you say?
3 or 4?
That were fired?
Yes, sir.
4.
Okay, and that was a bolt action Italian carbine.
2 of the
allegedly.
bullets came from the front.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know, but they were trying to tell us Lee Harvey Oswald was
The only bullets that came from the window were 2 bullets, and 3 bullets came from the window. 1 hit the curb, the other hit Conley, and the other one went in the president's back. And that's well documented.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and I yield no time.
Bro, squatters have hit the absolute jackpot after managing to take over an entire Spanish resort. All of the 92 suites are now occupied, and the owners still legally have to pay gas and electricity. This is Calau's Sport Hotel on the popular holiday island of Tenerife. And about 10 months ago, it was broken into by a group of 12 what they call mafia squatters. What a name. And they've essentially refused to leave ever since. And they are now even renting out rooms as if they own it. And as a result of this, the crowd living there is now risen to about 200 people. Bro, the Christmas rave they're about to have is going to be outrageous. But you're probably wondering, how the hell is this possible? Well, Spain is renowned for having very strict tenant protection laws, especially when it comes to evictions. So the actual procedure to have someone removed from your property can be very lengthy and very difficult. In fact, the owners say that the bills they now have to pay per month is about 6,000 euros. They say that is triple of what they were paying when this resort was operational because of how many people live there. But the squatters, on the other hand, they're also blaming the government for this. They are saying that authorities have long neglected locals in favor of benefiting tourists. And because of that, house prices have reportedly risen to about 80% in the last decade in the region. So they claim that they can no longer afford rent, so they just kind of go wherever they need to. Now, after a year of litigation back and forth, a court has finally ordered the eviction of the squatters within 30 days. So I guess we'll see if they actually leave.
Did you know that the Afghan shooter's name was Google searched 6 days ago on November 20th? 2 times? Randomly? 5 p.m.? Yes, the same exact name of the same guy who shot the National Guardsman. Rahman Ullah? And whatever that last name with the L, what are the odds of that? Shout out to James Lee. And isn't it odd that in 2021, Vance came out making a video about the dangerous withdrawal of Afghanistan, talking about how 40% of them are, they go boom. Then Trump makes this special conference. Meanwhile, Pete Hegseth just sent 400 or 500 more National Guard to DC since this happened. This is like a war on terror part 2. Because you gotta admit, the Google searching is weird, right?
The steepest possible price. I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth.
And by the way, this is completely unrelated 1000% from all the videos I made last month talking about people and intelligence warning about things coming to America. And specifically the one I showed you where they're warning about something in DC last month. So a quick question, how many more are there? Something's coming, y'all, and it's not going to be pretty. This is all the National Guardmen outside the hospital praying for the ones that were shot.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This whole DC situation feel weird as fuck now. So boom, 2 National Guard members get shot in broad day. And the first reports that came out was they were unalive. Now, they're coming out saying those reports were false and that they're in critical condition, they're still alive. So, which one is it? They said the mayor was the one who came with these false statements that they were unalive. But that's not even the craziest part, y'all. So now, Trump decides to send 500 more National Guard members to DC. But for what though? I'm hearing you got some military trucks rolling around, you got barricades, and I'm just sitting there like, for what? This don't feel regular. Is this a regular response, y'all? Let me know. And what I'm really trying to understand is, what is it with the 500 soldier military surge in DC? Is it because of this shooting? Is it because they know more than what they're telling us? What the is going on, y'all.
All right, fam. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Quick 45-minute video, y'all. I'm gonna get down there to my family. Baby's asleep right now. It's early, right? It's 10:30 in the morning right now. We're going out to eat. Well, not out to eat, but we're going to Mama Bear's family's at around 4 p.m. But Mama Bear decided to make us a little turkey lunch, I guess. So we're gonna have some turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, some corn, right? So I'm looking forward to that, y'all. It's just gonna be us, my lady, my baby, just hanging out for the day. So I'm gonna make sure to cut the video short, y'all. You guys go spend some time with your family too. Anyone that doesn't celebrate it, y'all, just have a good day, y'all. Have a good day. And I'm gonna get out there and try to hike. That's the goal right now. Go out there, hike after I get this video up. This is Segovia. We'll be back tomorrow with the hour banger. Signing out of the man cave. I'll see you guys then. Have a good day, y'all. Later.